Hello, Jan. I've got your kingpins bushed and ready to send back to you. I'm going to assemble them for transport, but you're going to end up taking them apart. So I wanted to go over the reason why you're going to take them apart. And that's primarily because I have no way of lining these up with the... I don't have the factory alignment tool for pre-assembling these items so that you can install them just as is. You're going to use your upper and lower A-arms as your alignment, special alignment tool. Anyway, that's what it looks like all assembled. So I'm going to go over here and discuss the assembly. Pre-assemble everything before you start final assemblies. You want to make sure that this bolt, the lower bolt here, goes in and screws in with no issue whatsoever. See, that one just goes right in just perfectly. If you have any problem, take a crescent wrench or a big wrench or something, and you can tweak these arms and bend them to where this thing is going to go in just exactly perfectly. And you may even want to pre-assemble just for fun the whole assembly, because what you're going to end up with is you've got these your grease cups, grease seals on either side, and you've got to hold these in position, kind of squeeze them a little bit, and then get this thing centered. So what you're doing is you're threading this bolt through the lower A-arm, and then you want to catch the threads at just the right spot on the lower knuckle. So that you want to catch the thread just at the right spot so that you're equidistant here. And you can see this one's not quite equidistant. So you need to readjust and get it lined up. So you may want to do that beforehand to get used to what you're going to be doing on the bottom. Because it takes 3 hands to do it. Not really, but it's more complicated. Once you get everything assembled, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now then, on the upper, with your eccentric, you've still got those there. Make sure your eccentric bolt and everything assembles correctly. As you can see, this one's very tweaked, so this thing's not going to assemble correctly. This one's been damaged. But obviously, run your bolt all the way through with your offset bushings, and make sure that they spin freely in the hole right here, and lubricate them with anti-seize. This is the only time they get lubricated, because they don't get lubricated when you hit the grease gun and lube the shaft that's up here, the threaded shaft that's up top. These things don't get any lube, and they are what has to turn when you're trying to get your front end alignment taking care of your camber and caster and all that stuff. So make sure these are fully lubed. Same with this shaft in here. This shaft does not get any lube once it's installed, so you need to get it with. I recommend anti-seize, nickel-based anti-seize. It does a great job and lasts forever, and a little bit goes a long ways. So that's discussing. I'm telling you to pre-assemble everything. Makes your life a lot easier, so you know what's going on. Now then, the reason for that is because it's very difficult to have the whole axle pre-assembled and then try to install it. Try to hang it here and get these bushings in place, and then have these in place, and then like have this attached to the bottom here, and try to hang this whole thing and assemble everything. It's really difficult. So what I suggest is you will disassemble the kingpin assembly into its various parts right here, and you're going to do these. You're going to assemble it one at a time. So first thing you do is you're going to take this take the kingpin and you're going to assemble it. And it's going to be hanging in midair. And again, you're going to have to get your grease fittings equidistant and get this all set up to where it's just hanging in midair. It'd be just hanging like this in midair. Next, you will pre-assemble this guy right down here. And the reason for that is, again, because you're going to try to squeeze the lower and upper A arm, and it's easier. The easiest thing to do is to squeeze these together and have this taper heading down into this hole, as opposed to trying to do it any other way. So you've got your pre-assembled here, and then what I use is something like this on the A arms to draw them together. Just a couple of hooks on either side, and slowly draw them together, because you're pulling against your coil spring. And that will make, in my opinion, that's the easiest way to do it. Now then, what we're going to do here is show you to make sure you understand how the stack works in terms of putting all your parts together. So you've got the top of the kingpin here, and you have your grease ring. You see you got these grooves right here, and it's indexed with the pin, and you put that in like that, index pin, and the grease cups go up. Next thing you've got is this special thrust washer, and it has more of a bevel on this side, so I put the bevel up. And then you're going to run your kingpin down inside there, and you can see it snugs up nicely. Get down in here, and this is with just a little light oil on it, no grease. So we got a nice snug fit. Now on the bottom, they gave you in the kit, I don't understand why they do this, they give you 3 washers at the bottom that go down here. And what you're going to do is, I'll give you all your washers back, but you're going to use the thickest washer. The thin ones, I don't understand what those are good for. You want your thickest washer, and you're going to stick that on here, and you're going to put your knuckle on the bottom. Well, yeah, obviously you got this hanging, the kingpin is hanging in midair. You're then going to push the kingpin assembly up on the stub axle up onto the kingpin. And the reason I showed you a stack is you want to make sure those don't go anywhere up inside here, and so glue them in place with some heavy grease. So you've got your sliding the axle up onto the kingpin. Now you're ready to draw the two together, and you're slowly drawing the upper A arm down to the lower A arm, and then you're dovetailing into this guy right here, the lower knuckle, and then you put your lock tab on and your bolt. And that, in my opinion, is the easiest way to do it. Now then, the next thing, grease fittings. For some reason, they gave you in the kit, they gave you a 90-degree grease fitting. I'm sending that back with you. I don't know what it's good for, because the shop manual calls for 45s top and bottom, and you can orient these the way you want to. The owner's manual, the parts book shows them oriented one way. The workshop manual shows them another way. I say orient them the way it's convenient for you to do your greasing on your car. These grease fittings are all tapered threads, so just snug them down to where you get them in the right position for your greasing, but you don't screw them in all the way. This one is also on. This one came with the kit, and again, that's tapered threads, and just screw them in until it snugs down and doesn't leak grease. And I've seen some of them all the way snugged all the way down, but that's not necessary. And then at that point, okay, so you're already. Let's see. You've got. I forgot to mention. You've gotten this assembled. You got your lock tab in place. You've got your nut on here. In fact, I'll put those on right now, because this one's ready to send back to you. And what you want to do is you want to get your thrust, your drag, your end play, top and bottom, in here. And you're going to do that by slowly tightening down this nut and rotating. Let me use this to represent holding in place. And you're going to rotate your backing plate, and you're going to slowly tighten down here until you get the kind of drag that you want. Obviously, you can mush it up and down to see if you got the end play up and down, but that's not going to be a problem, because once you get this thing snugged down, the nut tightened down to where you get drag, you will then know that you're at the right point for locking down your lock tab at the bottom. But that's all you're going to do. Just to snug this down. It's a taper, which means it can keep going forever and ever. So what you're going to do is tighten it down to where you got the proper amount of drag, and then tab over your lock tabs on the bottom. That's why they didn't put a lock washer down there. Get this on right. They didn't put a lock washer down there because it's not possible to tighten this down to a certain torque or anything like that. You are going to tighten it down until you get the right drag on your front axle. And I think that'll get you down the road, and you should be ready to rock and roll. Then grease it with your favorite grease, and wait until it comes out the top and the bottom. And same here. Trying to think if there's anything else I can mention. I don't think so. Anyway, thanks for letting me help you out here.